What's up, everybody? Uncle Dad here, hanging out with a very special friend of mine, which I will introduce shortly. They are in space, so it's the long distance call, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I'm Uncle Dad, and normally you know me from the Uncle Dad Talk Show, which I do here, usually with Mike. As you all know, Mike is on a hiatus, but I also do another special show that I unfortunately is no longer around due to my negligence, but we already made fun of me about that, so we don't need to do that again. But I made a mistake, and now we are bringing it to the YouTube. This is called The GamePapas, and what The GamePapas is a show hosted by myself and the ever so lovely, for the first time ever on camera, the ever
Yeah.
so lovely Retro Gaming Nomad. Retro Gaming Nomad, say hello to the world.
Hello to the world. This is kind of a big deal because I don't like to be on camera, guys. So he had to beg me and give me a bunch of beer to be on camera, and I fell for it. And a promise is a promise. So okay, here we go.
He looks great though, right? He looks like he is a beer drinker. He looks like he is a space maker.
You just call me fat?
I didn't
A,
say
s-
that.
a space maker? I make space, and I okay.
Well, you're
Both true.
well, you're in space right now. Anyways, so in this show, normally what we do is we pick a topic and then Nomad and I go back and forth talking about our memories of specific games or whatever it may be. In the past, we have done episodes, which again, I'm going to try to find a way to find them, but if I can't, we did arcade games, we've done handhelds, we did a very unique episode where we talked about the 90s as if we were in the 90s. That was a lot of fun. Uh, we did hip hop video games that never got released, and maybe one day we can go back and visit that one. But in this episode, we kind of want to give you just a taste of what we kind of do to introduce you to, which I'm just going to call this the Game Papas Redux. And so before I kick everything off with our topics of certain games, Mr. Nomad, can you just kind of introduce yourself to our audience so they know who you are, your love for gaming, how deep it runs, and all that beautiful jazz?
Oh yeah, man. Retro gaming nomad here. Been playing games. I am now a cool 53 years old. I just turned 53. Been gaming probably since I gotta say around 8, 9 when I got my first well, I didn't even get my first Atari 2600. It was a friend of mine, and found love with video games ever since then, and just accumulated a lot of video games over the years. Never really got rid of anything except one time, and I regretted it. Well, technically twice when the PlayStation came out. But I eventually got everything back, well, almost everything. And I'm just a collector of like old nostalgic video games. Played a little bit of the new stuff too, but my heart and soul is with the classic gaming for sure.
And specifically, your heart leans more towards what specific company?
Oh, I'm a huge Sega fan. Anybody heard our podcast before knows I'm huge on Sega with their innovation, their willingness to take chances at sometimes behest of the company and their downfall, but they were still willing to move forward and push the envelope, which I think is more respected now than it was back in the late '80s, early '90s, where some people call it mistake, but we'll call them mistakes, and some of them were. But if you look at what they were trying to do, a lot of that came into fruition later on in video game in the industry. A lot of it came to standard.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think, and actually that's a great way to kind of kick off the show to give people a taste of what we do here. So let's talk about Sega and let's go specifically with the era of Dreamcast. So you kick off your most underrated Dreamcast game.
Ooh, put me on the spot on this one. Most underrated.
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't give Virtua Tennis its due.
You consider that underrated?
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, unless you really played it, people talk about their top Dreamcast games. They're going to go Power Stone, Crazy Taxi,
Sure.
right away. But nobody really mentions Virtua Tennis, man. Virtua Tennis was so freaking addicting. Not just the multiplayer, of course, 2 on 2, uh, but the little mini games that were involved in it to keep the single player going, I thought were genius.
Okay. So virtual tennis, I vaguely remember that, but didn't you used to host like little tournaments or some shit like that for that game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at my dad's house, we would I'd ask him to use the garage because my place was too small, and then yeah, we would have like 10 to 20 people come over, and it was like a round robin, like these two against these two, and everybody had their specific players that they chose, and it was so unique because like nobody really played the same guys. Like I used Joe Hansen on the first virtual tennis, and he didn't have a lot of power. He didn't have a lot of, but he was fast. So when people they would hit the ball like clean in the corner and think, oh yeah, I got him, and all of a sudden my guy would just dive and knock it back, and it caught him off guard, like, oh crap, you got that. And yeah, it was crazy. And just playing off the VMU. I mean, there were some friendships that were tested during that time, man.
They were tested.
For sure, man. Like bad, bad. Yeah, virtual tennis I think is super underrated.
The Smash Bros before Smash Bros, huh?
Another one I have to throw in there too, because Dreamcast is known for a lot of fighting games, and I thought they were going to release this with the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, and they didn't. Was Tech Romancer? It's Capcom's like long lost fighting game, which is kind of a pseudo sequel, I think, to Cyberbots, I think it was. But Tech Romancer is super underrated, man. That's a fun game, dude.
Okay. I love that you went straight for virtual tennis. Now correct me if I'm wrong. Was Top Spin, is that on Dreamcast?
I think they did a top spin on DC, but it didn't matter. Virtual Tennis was king.
It didn't matter. Um, okay, so let's go back to really quickly talking about tennis games real fast. So I just want to bring up my favorite tennis game of all time is Rockstar Table Tennis.
Really?
Yeah, that's but granted it's a 360 game, but that's my favorite like
Yeah.
tennis game of all time. I love that game so much.
Yeah,
But
that game was fun. The camera angles always mess with me though.
what? That's like the best part of it.
Yeah. The camera would move, and I was like, I'm not used to. I'm used to a static screen.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah, that's another one. People bring up Rockstar games. People bring up Rockstar games stuff. They forget about that one, about the table tennis.
so yeah, kind of what we do here is like he'll bring up a subject or I'll bring up a subject, we talk about it, and then he gives me one, then I'll give him one. So for Dreamcast, I would say my most underrated game, and I don't know if I'm misremembering this, but I could have sworn it was a Dreamcast game. And if it's not, the internet's going to beat me up about this, so maybe I should not say it. Um, uh, I want to say Record of Lodoss War, but I don't think it's Dreamcast, huh?
Yeah, it was DT.
Was that DC?
Yeah,
Okay, I think Record of Lodoss War was one of the greatest,
good one, good pull. Yeah, that was a good one.
one of my favorite dungeon crawler games of all time. And I bought that game at a random comic book store in my hometown for $5 without the case or anything.
Yeah, it's a good pull, man. That was a cool game. Regular Lotus Wars was tight. Yeah, that was good.
That was kind of like a Diablo kind of, right?
Yeah, very much so.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, so with that kind of thing, this is kind of what we're gonna do in this episode. We kind of talk about this random pools here and there, but normally there'll be a set theme. So let's say our first episode was just arcade games. So we will talk only about arcade games. So this time around, we're gonna give you kind of like a taste of what we do here. So, and normally too, we also do this thing where you and I test beers, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not this time because it's a little early, but we'll plan it better next time, and we
What are you
will.
I already had two. What are you talking about? I'm
Like
on the
I said,
vodka.
hey, like I said, he looks like a beer drinker, and he's a great space maker. So, Nomad, give me something from any of our old subjects you want to bring up, arcades, handhelds, anything that you want to throw at me.
Let's do handhelds, man. I'm a pretty passionate guy on handhelds when it
Okay.
comes to dedicated handhelds. We're not talking about an Android device that, I'm talking about like dedicated, made by a video game company for
Okay.
specific, proprietary cartridge or, dedicated games, whether they be on a cartridge or
Okay. So can I
with a
kick this one
sealed
off?
memory card or whatever. What's up?
I gotta kick this one off with my favorite one. I've the more older I've gotten, Nomad, the more I've loved this little guy. And I gotta tell you, I wish I still had it. I don't have it. You have it, and that is the people are gonna trip out right now. The Nokia N-Gage.
Oh, really?
Honestly, man, the older I've gotten, the more I've kind of realized how much I love that thing. Really, I used to use that. I don't know if you remember this, but I used
You
to use
used
that
it
as
as a phone.
I used it as my phone. Yeah,
You're the
but
only person. You're the only person I know that actually used that thing as a phone, dude.
and so for those who don't know, we're talking about Nokia, the phone company, back in the late '90s or early 2000s.
Late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They released a before we did all this mobile gaming on our phone, they were kind of ahead of their time. They created a gaming system that was also a phone. And to your point, it used the dedicated cartridges, so it is a dedicated handheld, and it just happened to be also a cell phone. And the first one, the first version of it came out, and you had to use it like this. I don't know if you
Yeah.
can see, but like it was like a taco. Like literally, I'm not kidding, kids. You had to talk like that. And they fixed it with the second one. Now I didn't have the original taco one. I had the smaller one called, I believe, the QD.
Yeah.
And I had that one. And the thing was, in the original one, do you remember this, Nomad? You had to take the battery out.
Yeah, I
Put
was
the
just gonna say that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You had to take the battery out to put the damn game in and then
Put the
put it back
cartridge
in.
in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They fixed that in the QD version, which obviously it was just a little slot that you just slide it in, which I don't know why they didn't think of that
I
in the
don't,
first
yeah,
place.
when they were doing the design, who thought, oh, this is a good idea?
Yeah.
Let's yeah, I think because they wanted to make it like water resistant or something like that. I don't know. But I was like, dude, you have to take the back off, then you have to take out the battery.
Yes.
Then you got to get the and you've got big hands like me, and I bite my nails, so I have no nails. Trying to get that cartridge in and out, that little disc. Oh my God, dude. That was so I was like, I think I played 2 games and I was done.
But I there was one game on there that I played a lot of, and I want to capsulize my little love letter to Engage here. It's the game probably you would think, why would you even play that game? But I was younger, and it was kind of again the era of before ahead of its time, where are you familiar with the term cozy games, like cozy games, like Stardew Valley?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's like a cozy game. Uh,
yeah. Tamagotchi life, all that. Yeah.
sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I loved playing The Sims Busting Out on
Yeah.
my Engage QD because it was such a little cozy game, man. You know?
I have that. I have almost the entire Engage library.
Dude, and
Uh,
and there's some big titles on there.
there was.
Elder Scrolls, Splinter Cell, Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty's on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Call of Duty, Sonic was on there. There's some Lost Kingdoms. Yeah, some really good RPGs on there too.
Yeah.
It was weird, man. They had a development base that was pretty wide. There was a lot of companies making games for this thing, and probably because they thought, this is the future, and they were kind of right. It was just not in the physical form aspect, more of the download and streaming, of course. But yeah, the Nokia Engage, man. I found out that they made even more versions than the second one. They did like a third one. Yeah, man, they did like a third one, and then they made one that was a dedicated game, but it only came out in Europe or something like that. I could be wrong. I have to look that one up, but I saw something on Nokia Engage on some guy's YouTube channel that he was doing that. Yeah, they definitely came out with a third one for sure in the States.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. I need to find that one. All right, that was mine. Now let me volley it to you.
As a dedicated handle, because I right away I want to go to the Turbo Express.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a handheld, but it uses the same games as the TurboGrafx 16, which way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Everything you play at home, hey, you can play on the road.
Yeah.
You can hook up a TV tuner to it and watch TV. You can actually hook it up to your TV the the Turbo Express. Extremely expensive, but man, the design of that, having that, backlit, it was awesome, dude. Just to be able to play like Blazing Lasers on the road, playing Bonk on the road, Bomberman. And whenever I took it, people were like, dude, what the hell is that? Because everybody, oh, you got a Game Boy? I was like, oh, this is no Game Boy. There's no Game Boy. But of course, it was super expensive. And then the battery life was absolutely horrendous on that thing. So
Yeah.
you were lucky to get 2-3 hours of gameplay out of that thing because the technology just wasn't there at the time.
Whoa.
And then my honorable mention, of course, I'm a big Neo Geo Pocket fan. I
Sure.
thought that I thought that system was super underrated.
Yeah.
Uh, the way you can hook it up to a Dreamcast with like King of Fighters and other games and unlock outfits and whatnot in the Dreamcast title, I thought was genius. And that little clicky pad and the games played so damn well, man. I thought it exited the market way too soon because to me it gave like the Game Boy Advance a run for its money when it came to overall gameplay and titles. I thought it was awesome, but too short lived, man.
Yeah, I think I remember playing was it Metal Slug on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty
That was
damn
like
close
Mission
to the
One. Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty close to the arcade, I thought too.
Yeah, I mean, other than graphically, but everything was there, man. Even the Match of the Millennium, like SNK versus Capcom,
Oh yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it played so freaking well, dude. And yeah, it was just I love the golf game on there, Turf Masters.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
those games were just good, man. Good. Neo Geo Pocket. I remember it was already discontinued, and you can go to Fry's Electronics, and they had them blister packed.
Yes, I remember that. Was
Remember that?
yeah, yeah,
The Neo Geo
yeah.
Pocket was 6 games for
Yeah.
like what was it, like $80 or something like that?
Yeah.
Could you
Wow.
imagine if you bought all of those and sell them now? Because Neo Geo Pocket's going for, at least in good condition, at least like 150, almost $200 now.
Oh,
But with the six games packed in with it, oh dude, you would have been flipping them like crazy.
wow. That's crazy.
I was
Like,
I was able to get one of them, but I should have bought more.
yeah, that's crazy because I feel like that's an idea you'll never see now, right? Like you'll never see like even if like the Switch Nintendo Switch flopped, right? You'll never see it like just hey, here's like 10 games with you. You know what I mean? Like you just don't see that anymore. And really quickly, what you said about the TurboGrafx, I wanted to add, it is kind of like the precursor, minus the removable controllers, the precursor to the Switch almost, huh?
Mhm. Yeah, and I talk about that to people that I run into because they're like, they'll bring up the fact that, oh well, it's really the first console you can play the same games. I was like, no, it's not, dude. This was done back in '87.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, not detachable or anything like that. But if you wanted to, use the same game and or hook the Express up to your TV, you could, or you could just plug it in TurboGrafx. But yeah, NEC had that down pat back in the mid '80s, man. So, um, but nobody knows about it. I bring up Turbo Express, they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
If I show them, they're like, what the hell is this monstrosity kind of thing? But then
Yeah.
when they see it, they're like, oh, this is sick.
I used to know somebody who was also a big gamer like us, and he goes, why would I like that system? I hate it. And my friend had that system, and I would go to his house as a kid, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna play Bonk's Adventure. Ugh. But I thought that was a good game. But I do get it. Like the game selection wasn't really there either, right? Like compared to what?
I, I I would disagree on that because it depends on what kind of games you like.
Yeah, but
So if you like
if I like
if you like the
Mario,
yeah,
yeah,
if you like the Mario style game, yeah, you had Bonk's Adventure, and then Bonk's 2 was definitely better. Okay, fine. The Joe and Mac, it wasn't good. I get it. What Keith Courage, I get it. But if you're a shoot 'em up fan like
sure.
myself,
Yes, yeah.
the Shmups galore, dude. Like
Yeah.
that game was, and some of their sports titles were actually pretty legit at the time. Of course, introduced Bomberman to everybody, so you had that going. There's this really addicting. I think it only came out in Japan, but if you get the TurboGrafx Mini, it's on there. It's a um, croquet game. I'm
Really?
telling you, man. I know. I tell people this, they're like, "What?" It's a croquet game. You can play up to 10 players at one time if you want. Of course, you just hand the controller off.
Right.
But I play 10 players by myself. So so every character I play to try to get better, and it's so addicting because you have to be so precise with like basically 8-bit graphics and just trying to find out the little nuances of the game and the angles that you have to play, man. I forgot what it's called in Japanese, but yeah, it's a super addicting game, man. But like, dude, Military Madness, you had I mean, that introduced me a lot to the strategy games, the turn-based strategy. The Turbo was underrated, man.
I, you know, I want to say I agree with you, but but I don't know, man. I feel like you know what I liked more than the TurboGrafx, and you're going to be like, oh, I
Well,
oh, go ahead.
before you say full motion video anything,
Well, that's not a handheld, so but yes, but
I
that's
was
an
I was saying before you say that, like remember NEC was the first one to have a CD drive to
I
it
I know, yeah.
with full motion video games. But go ahead, handheld wise, what?
We will save full motion video. I still want to now that we're doing video. We can do a full motion video episode, so I cannot wait for that one. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Anyways, I think my next favorite handheld, which you're gonna hate and disagree with, is the Virtual Boy.
I don't think that's not a handheld to me.
What are you talking about? It's literally designed to be worn as goggles, and then you.
Not really. It comes with a stand. I disagree.
Oh, but you
It's
can use it. Can you not use it as a headset with the strap?
if you get a lot of duct tape
No, you can. They sell straps now.
for the newer one.
No, for Virtual Boy back then, you can buy a strap now that makes it work.
All right, get the straps, come over and try it on, and you tell me if it's a handheld. Because I'll let you know right now, dude. You're gonna be walking around like this, and you have black eyes. You're gonna look like a damn raccoon, dude. Way too heavy for a handheld. No, man. That thing's it's a tabletop.
But it's not a console. There's no way you're gonna call it a console. A home console.
I mean, kind of is. You got to plug it in the wall.
It has a battery pack though.
Show me.
Well, I don't have one, but
But no, I like the Virtual Boy. I was one of the people that actually dug it. And even though it's in red monochrome and all that, but I thought the 3D effects were fantastic. And the first time I played Wario Land on there, to
oh yeah.
go all the way in the background and come back up, and you're still controlling it, this little tiny guy going across, it's badass. And a lot of people are starting to realize that now with the Virtual Boy that was released for the Switch, and they're starting to figure out, hey, these games are actually pretty cool, like Red Alert and God, what was the other one that I used to play a lot? Oh, the bowling game on there was I thought
Esther's
was
bowling?
yeah. I liked it, dude. I liked Fester's Bowling. It was pretty cool. No, you didn't like it? I thought
No,
it was pretty cool. I thought the effects were cool. But
that's
um, but no, man, I thought it was a cool thing. It got taken off the market. I thought really early. Apparently, there was people having seizures on it, and understandably, because when you take that thing off after gaming for a bit, your eyes need to adjust for sure.
oh yeah.
Um, but I'm glad Nintendo kind of brought it back. It's like, oh, this is our biggest failure. Guess what? It's back. Buy it.
Yeah, and we also live in a world now where people are like, "Oh my God, I gotta have it because it's Nintendo."
Right.
Yeah, so but that's another conversation for a different day. So kind of continuing the little sampler of what we do here. Um, let's do something a little different here. Let's do just a dash into racing games.
Ooh.
Throw me a racing game that you love that's not, yeah, that's the thing I wanted to bring up too real fast, everybody. When we do this show, we try to do games and systems and stuff that aren't necessarily uberly popular, I would say. Like, yeah, you might hear us talk about obviously a Mario here and there or like something big here and there, but a lot of this is going to be kind of like our memories as we remember playing these much more closeted titles, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if he brings up a racing game you never heard of, it might not be super popular, but I promise it's probably good quality. So go ahead, sir.
Vanishing Point.
Wow.
I got,
I
yeah, I got yeah, Vanishing Point. I thought was a very, very well done racer that did not
wow.
get the love that it deserved. If you could find a copy of Vanishing Point, whether it's PS, they have a Dreamcast version of it. Um, Play it, and you can see how many other racing games kind of borrowed from that. And I think I know which one you're gonna say, so I'm not gonna steal your thunder. But yeah, Vantage Point, super underrated. Like dedicated racing games, super underrated.
Now, is that the one that when you would drive, it actually had like the fishtail
Yeah,
physics, right? Like if you did it like correct yourself right, it would actually like make the back end go right.
yeah, depending on your car, yeah,
Right, right.
and how you hit the brake. So you can drift if you mastered your vehicle, you can definitely drift like crazy in that game. And
Wow.
it had the effects when you were going fast, where it started, at least on the Dreamcast version, where it started to blur a little bit, so it gave you a greater sense of speed. So
Whoa.
I say Vanishing Point, and then I have to throw this one in there because it's one of my all-time favorite, dude.
Okay, what's
Automata Lista.
okay? Yeah, yeah.
Automata
That's what I
Lista.
was gonna say.
Oh, man, I thought you were gonna say a different one. I'm sorry, but yeah, Automata Lista. I thought Capcom did a phenomenal job with that one, man. If anybody follows my page, I have a post dedicated to Automata Lista, man. That game was just
Oh, it's
uh,
amazing.
yeah, it was just like out of nowhere. Like it's a cell shaded, hand drawn racing game with like real cars and effects and
Yeah.
cartoony. It was like I tell people it's like playing Comic Zone the Racer.
Comic Zone the Racer. Wow. Wow, that's actually pretty well said. Yeah. I mean, granted, one's real and one's not, but uh, yeah, it's actually really fast touching on Comic Zone. I recently saw Mike, and for those who don't know, Mike is my co-host on the Normal Show. Mike never played Comic Zone before. And
Did he
so
finally play it?
yeah, so I had it running at my house, and he's like, "What the heck? I've never played this before." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Dude, this is totally up your alley."
Yeah, that game's like, Comic Zone was badass, dude. From
Yeah.
going page to page,
Oh,
up and
dude,
down,
with
with
the
all
cursive
all
writing
the
and drawing and
all all the writing, the I don't know what you call it. What is it called in the little cloud, the character?
yeah, the thought bubbles and stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
those are.
top level dialogue. Yeah, that game was sick, dude.
Oh man, but no. Sorry, you were saying you threw me off. Comic Zone, honestly, yeah. Automata Lista, I feel like was when it came out. What blew me away about it was when you would drive and you would see the tail lights drag across the screen like the blur, right? And I'd be like, "Whoa, what is that's like? It's like that movie Akira."
And then the faster you go, you start seeing the white streaks.
Yes, yeah.
And you start to get like kind of tunnel vision and stuff, dude. And then watching the replays, man. I think that was the first game that I would actually sit and watch the
Watch
entire
replays.
replay. Yeah.
Whoa, that's pretty cool. They should make a Fast and Furious game with that palette. What do you think?
You just ruined Automata Lista right now, dude.
Why? It's about
You brought in Fast and Furious, dude. Come on, man.
it's about family. Come on.
About family and
Well,
testosterone.
well, look, I was gonna say that game, but I don't. What other game do you think I was gonna say?
We both kind of like this title
Okay.
and believe that a lot of newer games, Forza, borrowed from it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Test Drive Unlimited too. Yeah, yeah,
That's Unlimited. Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know why I didn't think, but I see. Because I think of like childhood memories first, and
Oh, okay.
that's why Automata Lista hits me first. But yes, Test Drive Unlimited too. And I usually I say I don't remember playing. It's the second one, right? I don't remember playing the first one because the first one I thought was a PS2 game, right?
What's that?
Test
Test Drive
Drive.
Unlimited?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think it
And
was PS2.
then Unlimited 2 was a 360 game and PS3 game. And that's when there was like that um, free roam racing game that allowed you to kind of live your luxury racing dreams. You,
Right.
yeah, you could, obviously I'm probably never going to afford a Ferrari, but I can in this game and I can drive it around Italy or wherever it was at. And not only do all that, but have full free roam to do whatever I wanted, but also I can live a luxury life and have my own little house, right? And
Like
then
kids and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of those details in that game kind of got borrowed to Forza,
Mhm.
specifically Forza Horizon, right? And
Right.
Forza Horizon 6 just came out, and you can see a lot of the influence of all the Test Drive Unlimited games, even the new one, the Solar Crown, which wasn't very good, but yeah, I think Test Drive Unlimited 2 was so, and I think it also had the feature where you could drive and see your buddy playing as well, I think,
You
right?
could, yeah. The 361 had the online feature, yeah. And
Yeah.
it had the high beams where, hey, you want to race,
Yes.
flash kind of
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that, dude.
Yeah.
It was like one of the first ones to do it way before Forza Horizon, man. So yeah, I thought for sure, yeah, you're gonna say Test Drive Unlimited.
No, yeah, you ruined my thunder. Thanks. That's okay. That's okay. Story of my life. Um, okay, so we do want to try to keep these at about 30 minutes because our very first episode, I don't know if you remember
Oh
this,
God.
Nomad, it was almost like 4 hours long. It was way
Yeah.
up there.
And we're like, hey, you're like, hey, we got to stop, man. I go, what's going on? You're like, dude, we're almost at 4 hours. I said, what? And we look around, there's like 20 beers around us, and like, it was like we're all buzzing. They're like, oh my God, like 4 hours just went by. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
we'll just go. We'll go nonstop.
Yeah. And that's just a testament to how long we've known each other. And then also we both love gaming, we do. And he's introduced me to a lot of great stuff, and we're ready to talk about it in the YouTube space. So they say, as the cool kids say, like, comment, subscribe to YouTube. It'll be located here in the Uncle Dad space as its own separate playlist. So just follow Uncle Dad Talks, and you will find the playlist for all the further Game Papa episodes. But before we wrap up, Mr. Nomad, can you tell them where to find you, where they can connect with you, and check out some of the coolest things you post?
Yeah, IG handle retro at retro gaming nomad underscore in between all retro underscore gaming underscore nomad uh, spelled exactly how it sounds. And just to let everybody know out there, nothing's for sale. I get, I get a lot of stuff like, hey, you want to sell it? How much you want for this? None of my stuff's for sale, guys. It's for me to enjoy and to share with you. Maybe bring back some nostalgia. Maybe see some stuff you haven't. And I like to leave little tidbits of information on each one instead of just posting like, oh, look what I got, kind of thing. Kind of like, hey, where did the stuff come from? How it influenced me? Maybe some game cheats on there. And before I go, I want to say thanks everybody for listening and let you know my headphone was never plugged in. So this was all a hoax. This is all a hoax. I'm famous, man.
Because he's a space maker. Thank you, Mr. Nomad. Thank you for coming back on this journey with me. We weren't the best at being so timely, but this is going to change. I want this to be a weekly thing, at least a bi-weekly thing here on the YouTube space. I'm feeling this reinvigorated energy, as you guys see with all the content coming out for Uncle Dad Talks. So please keep checking us out. Please keep hanging out. And we used to have a saying, and I think it was peace, love, game on.
Game on.
All right,
Yes.
everybody. Take care. And again, remember, we'll see you all next week.